It's a tricky game. There's no set protocol, Dave. Every job is unique and different. It's ever changing. You got to change with it. You got to know how to adapt. You got to be quick, fast. Or crazy like myself, one of the three. I work pretty much for all the major banks and financiers in Australia. You got to look at the bank like it's a soulless, heartless creature. You can't talk to it like this bloke's wife needs to take the kids to school. They don't care about the kids or the school. They care about interest, default interest, monthly installments, and that date where they direct debit from your account. There's no emotion involved. It's a system that doesn't stop.
How many cars do you think are repossessed a week?
Australia-wide, I reckon hundreds. I can do 5-6 cars a night myself. You guys are asleep at night. All those tow trucks you see with cars on the back of them that aren't smashed, which means, you know what that should tell you guys, is repossessed cars. We're filling up the auction yards. It comes down to Joey is our asset that we've leased out that's worth $100,000 at risk. I know you can fix the account, Joe, but should you fix the account or should we repossess and terminate this account? And then I make judgment whether this car needs to be repossessed because the security, which is the vehicle or asset, is at risk. That's my black and white dead end job. Many years ago, I did this job for one of the major banks and lenders to go and attend the factory, in Padstow. So I get out there, I see this big industrial warehouse. Workers everywhere, it was a huge operation. I was going in and people didn't know that I was actually undercover in there. It was a water bottling company. It was a quite popular name. Everyone had the bottle at this bloody, service station. This factory was a one-stop shop for making these bottles of water and packaging. It was the machines that actually blow these plastic out and they actually make the bottles there. So it's not just bottles of water getting filled up and sealed and labelled, it's the whole process, from nothing to everything. When I went to this factory, they all showed me the way it worked. The water said natural spring water on it, right? But there was no natural spring in Padstow. The water source was coming out of a tap, which was continuously pouring water into a inflatable pool. No word of a lie. And that pool was getting filtered. So the water in that pool was going through a filtration system into these big machines. I'm not too sure if that's legal. I guess it comes from a spring eventually, if you were to follow it through the channels. But when I was there, it was coming out of a fire tap. My job's to repossess what? God knows. I've never seen a job like this. I'm looking at all these gadgets and all this machinery and serial numbers and invoices. The contract was thick as shit. And the amounts were stupid. Millions of dollars worth of stuff that are owed to the bank. This guy has been in business for almost a year and a half and hasn't paid $1 back to the finance company. Their main objective is to make product, dump it on people, put it in their little black book what they wrote and shut up shop. Professionals. Corporate criminals. It was attached with a termination notice. My instructions were as follows. Joe, get out there, first find out what you need and what it'll cost to remove our equipment. We want to terminate this account as soon as possible and repossess everything. Wow, what a job. I then made contact with the director, who was a Lebanese fella. He's a nice, smart guy. I'm not going to bag him out. He's a businessman, and if he's taking advantage of the banks, so be it. I get there and he says, Joe, what are you here to do? I said, well, they want to serve you with this termination notice, and then they want me to repossess the goods. He just died laughing for about 5 or 10 minutes and kept laughing at me. He said, how are you going to do that? I said, I'm going to ring the people that installed it to come and remove it. He said, okay. And who's going to let you in here? I said, I'll get a court order if I have to. He said, okay, go get a court order. And when you do, come back. Until then, don't come back here. We come back in about 3 weeks or something. By the time they processed the court order, by the time I organised all these tradesmen and everyone, I came back that morning. I was there like from 5:30 in the morning. We had a crane in the street. We had low loaders. We had all the tradesmen, electricians, like several of them. Teams. This whole street was full of tradesmen. This Lebo guy's rocked up with his own team, about 50 gangsters, family members, God knows what. It was fantastic. And then they were blocking off the entrance with their cars and with their bloody whatever. So I said, fuck, how are we going to do this now? I'm ringing my bosses, I'm ringing the banks. Joe, full steam ahead. Get the bloody hell in there. What are you waiting for? I said, well, we can't get in there before 7. We're not allowed to. Get the fuck in there, they're telling me. I said, okay. We got to get in there. These guys are like, fucking make one more step and I'm going to assault you. And I'm like, what do you mean, buddy? Going to assault us? I got fucking work to do. Yeah, well, we're here, got work to do too. We're making water bottles. It was back and forth. In the end, it came down to me with my court order and the actual director, which was the landlord of the premises, and he refused to let me in. He says, Joey, I don't care about the court order. And to find out that this guy had a law degree, later on down the track, I understand now how smart he was. There's only so far the law can back you up. Some sort of law. This is a civil dispute, so civilly, this guy knew how far we can take him to push him over the line. He knew I can take him to here. And he said, Joe, that's fine. You got the court order, you can do, yeah. He'd sit there, nod his head and agree with me and said, but I'm going to stop you right here. And as soon as you take that step onto my premises, I'm going to assault you and say you're trespassing. I don't care what you say. I'm going to pretend I'm delusional and I'm going to assault you. So then I said, wow, this guy's professional. It was a Mexican standoff like 5 or 6 hours. All these Habibs on this side and me with my army of tradesmen on the other side. In the end, the bank said, mate, pull the pin. We couldn't even get in there. But it was a big day. We don't win all the time. Some people are ready for us. I love every job that I take on. There's no job that's the same. I can go repossess a car for $400 or $500. I can take it in 5 or 10 minutes. It could take me 5 or 10 hours to take that car for the same amount. I could take on a job like this, which could, I could end up invoicing $5,000 or $10,000 because it could take 2 days out of my time. Every case is different. Every scenario is different. There's legitimate people with legitimate reasons. There's people with intentions for the wrong reasons. Legitimate debt collection work for the banks, it's taught me some people are very legitimate with their problems. It's taught me that some people surrender, some people give up, business doesn't work, and that they're waiting for me to rock up and they're waiting to give back things to the bank. It's taught me sometimes the other side to the coin is not so bad. Some people are actually legitimately want to give back the stuff to the bank, and the banks are like, no, it's too early, keep it with you. They want to accumulate charges on them. Sometimes I feel like I'm working for the criminals and I'm chasing the good guy. I still think about him and respect the way he treated me. He didn't want to go down no bad path. He just wanted to finish his business, make his money, and all he's doing is really hurting the banks. Full stop. I think we all play our role, Dave. Anyone can play these evil games and hurt people. No one's God on this planet. We got to be fair and be human. That's what I believe.